Why is it that my sister, who often bleaches and even cuts her hair, has long, healthy hair that grows 2 times as fast as mine, while I, who is fully natural, uses heat 1 to 2 times a year, never dyes or bleaches hair, but my hair isn't all the way down my back? In this video, I'm going to share with you the hair growth secrets that you absolutely need to know and how to implement them to maximize on your own hair growth. Let's get into it. So let's talk about hair type. I have type 4 hair. She has type 3 hair. More of like a 3A mixed with a 3B somewhere in there. Whilst I have a mix of like 4B and 4C hair. Now, how does hair texture come into the hair length thing? Well, a lot of it is partly an illusion, okay? You might be seeing a complete lack of progress with your hair growth because maybe you have type 4 hair like me, whereas someone else who has type 3 hair, their curls are much looser, so of course their hair looks longer because as it grows out of their head, an inch of hair growth on someone with type 3 hair versus an inch of hair growth on someone with type 4 hair will look completely different. Let's take this as a strand of hair, right? So this, in its state like this, is like type 4 hair, like my hair. So let's say my hair grows an inch, it'll probably look like that. Whereas someone with type 3 hair, their hair is already like that. So if their hair grows another inch, it'll probably look so much longer, and you'll be able to see a drastic difference in the hair growth compared to someone whose coils look like this. So just take that into consideration when you're looking at your hair growth versus other people's hair growth. Now, let's talk about a major factor when it comes to hair growth. This is genetics. Now, no one can actually speed up the rate of how fast their hair grows genetically, but you can do things that can influence the way your genetics are expressed. For example, if you are low in iron, you don't drink enough water, and you're lacking in many vital nutrients like protein, you can stunt the rate of your hair growth, which means when you start to do all the things correctly, your hair will start growing faster up to the rate that it can naturally grow. So here's one thing that's not really talked about a lot, but it's actually very important. Now, it's not important because you can change it. It's like genetics. It's important because you can maximize on it. So several doctors, and specifically Alan Parks, said that his research has shown that hair actually grows faster in the summer and it grows slower in the winter. So if you live in a climate where it's cold 90% of the time, that may be affecting your hair growth. And if you live in a climate where it's hot about 90% of the time, like I do, then it may boost your hair growth. Now, there's nothing you can do to change the weather. However, you can do your best to maximize on your hair growth in the weather that it grows the best. Put your hair in protective styles. Make sure that you're taking advantage of the moisture in the air to keep your hair hydrated so that you can maximize on your full potential of growth during that summertime. I get questions from so many people telling me, I've been natural for 4 years and my hair doesn't grow. I have done everything and it just doesn't grow. I used to be relaxed. Now I'm natural because I'm reducing on the chemicals and my hair is still not growing. The issue is not that your hair is not growing, because even if you are extremely stressed and you have stunted hair growth, unless you have a specific medical condition that literally stops your hair from growing, your hair is always growing. The reason why it looks like it's not growing is because your hair is either breaking faster than it's growing, or it's breaking at the same rate that it is growing. So if it takes you 2 months to grow 1 inch of hair, it also takes you 2 months to break off 1 inch of hair. If you've noticed, a lot of what this is leading us to is that the reason why your hair is not growing is because it's breaking faster. So how do we actually fix it so that it stops breaking faster than it's growing? The first thing that is most important above everything else is what I've already mentioned previously: your diet. Your hair is just like a decoration. It doesn't really do anything. Once it grows out of your head, it's dead. By the way, this is a wig. I'm sure you've noticed that because my hair is looking crazy in braids. But focusing on your diet will make a major difference. Eating enough proteins, eating enough food with amino acids, with antioxidants, drinking enough water so that you can hydrate your hair from the inside out will really boost hair growth. So protein, collagen, it doesn't matter if you're vegan or you eat meat or pescatarian, you can still find all the needed nutrients. Now, once you're done with everything and you think you've reached the maximum amount of nutrients that you can possibly eat, if you feel like you might still be lacking, then you can look into supplements. Supplements do not replace the meals that you can't have. They just supplement for what you might be lacking in. So now that you know how to optimize your hair growth and get it to the maximum speed of hair growth, how do you actually maintain it so that you're not breaking your hair as fast as it's growing once you figured out how to make it grow to its optimum potential? The first thing you need to do is something that everybody does not like to do, including me. I still do it, but I don't like to do it. Trim. You'll see a major difference by trimming your hair. There's a huge myth that trimming your hair or cutting your hair makes it grow faster. It does not make it grow faster, it just makes you retain length faster because your hair doesn't grow from here, it grows from here. So, cutting or doing anything to your ends does nothing for your scalp, your roots, your hair growth, nothing. It's just that split ends travel up. So, if you don't cut them, they will continue going up and damaging your hair further up. As long as you have more hair without split ends than hair with split ends, you will see a major difference. So sometimes you may not need a trim. Sometimes you need a cut, okay? And I know it is very difficult to deal with. I've gone through a couple of these, and a lot of the reason is because I like to trim my hair when it is flat ironed or at least blow dried. So when my hair is in its curly state, it doesn't look like it's got any split ends because the hair just is nice and coily and it looks pretty good. And then when I straighten it and blow dry, because my hair is in layers, I start to see that maybe in certain sections I have more split ends. So because I don't blow dry or flat iron my hair often, only 1 to 2 times a year, I may miss out on the split ends, and then because they go up, I have to cut more than I would. So this year I decided I was going to be trimming my hair every 3 months instead of basically every 6 months. And I've seen a big difference. My hair is so much fuller and so much healthier. I just did a trim about a month ago, and my next trim will be coming up, I think, in January or something like that. I'm going to show you a picture from, I think this was sometime a year ago, where my split ends were so long, and it was so annoying because I was like, if my hair didn't split, all my hair would have been that length because it means my hair could possibly grow that fast. But I had to cut off all those splits because that's the only way. Even if it takes you longer to get that long hair that you want, it is better to have long, healthy hair than long, damaged hair because you're going to have to keep cutting it and cutting it. So trim or cut, and you'll see a major, major difference. I know it hurts, but you just need to do it. And the other thing that can severely cause you to not retain length is actually psychological. And let me just explain. It does take a big toll on your hair. This is a combination of self-limiting beliefs and jealousy. So let's say your hair grows like at my rate, and you're looking at someone like my sister-in-law whose hair grows so fast and it's so long and healthy, and every time you look you're just like, I wish my hair was that long, my hair could never get that long. Because you know, you believe it, it doesn't matter if other people tell you, oh, your hair grows fast. If you believe that your hair cannot grow past a certain length, like it only reaches your shoulders and it will never get past that length, you'll subconsciously be doing things to sabotage your hair growth so that it can confirm what you always say about your hair, because this is how we are. We treat ourselves like Google, confirmation bias. You may love red wine, right? And you know that I've heard red wine can be healthy. So you go and Google and write, is red wine healthy? And it's going to tell you, yes, red wine has lots of antioxidants. If you drink a glass every single night, you experience amazing antioxidants from red wine, and it's actually recommended to stay healthy. And then you're maybe like me who doesn't drink alcohol, and you go online and search, is red wine bad for you? You're probably going to find articles that say red wine can actually kill you because it has high levels of alcohol. And while your body is trying to digest the food that you've already eaten, it's going to stop digesting that because your body views alcohol as a poison, and it's going to work on the alcohol first before any of your vital organs. This is what we do to ourselves. So you're going to say, look, my hair has stayed the same length for the past 2 years. Even if I take care of it, even if I do this, it's still going to stay at the same length. So when you're washing your hair, you may be a little bit more violent when you're combing it because you're like, look, it's been this way. It's probably not going to change. Or let's say it's during the week and you say, you know what? I'm dedicating myself. This month, I'm going to moisturize my hair twice a week, every single week. And then you moisturize your hair once. And then the second time comes up in the week. It's a Wednesday and you're like, it's not going to make much of a difference anyway. My hair usually stays the same length, so I can skip it because there's probably not going to be there's probably not going to be that much difference. And then you forget about it, and then at the end of 3 months, you've been doing a few things here and there, and your hair is the same, and you're like, you see? It's exactly what I said. My hair doesn't grow. It's going to be because of your beliefs. So if you actually believe that you can grow your hair and you put in the effort, you're more likely to follow through with all the things that you need to do to actually get your hair to grow. Now let's go back to Mama. How does she actually manage to get her hair to stay that healthy and grow that long despite bleaching it, using heat occasionally, and cutting it? Firstly, her genetics, like I mentioned. Her hair seems to grow slightly more than half an inch or maybe even an inch at certain times. Most of us experience growth spurts at a certain time, like in the summer, and sometimes we won't really notice it, but she has like quite noticeable growth spurts. So, yes, her hair does grow faster. Even then, my other sister, if you see my other sister, we did a big chop around the same time. Then she big chopped again. Her hair also grows faster than mine, but not as fast as Mama. And we both sometimes get very annoyed with her because she's like, I want to put some bleach in again. And we're like, how is this possible? Now, here's the second thing. She actually has naturally oily hair. Now, oily hair is kind of like oily skin. She also has an oily skin type. I have very dry skin. Very dry hair equals a dry scalp as well. So I have to work harder to make sure that my scalp is moisturized and healthy. Whereas for her, it's the opposite. If she straightens her hair, probably 2 or 3 days later, her hair is so oily that she has to find a way to use dry shampoo, or she's just gonna have to wear it in a bun because her hair is so oily. This means that the natural oils from her hair can easily also run down the shaft of her hair, which is type 3, and moisturize her hair from the root to the tip just within a couple of days. So when she washes her hair only once a week, those natural oils are coated on her hair. Her hair is naturally also soft and on the oily side, so it's less prone to breakage. Her scalp is also nice and usually hydrated. She does deal with a lot of dandruff sometimes because of that mix of oil and moisture. If her hair is usually oily, even if she bleaches it, which usually makes your hair dry, it's not going to be as dry as if I bleached my hair. My hair would be severely dry if I bleached it, even if I let my oils run down my hair, which they will not this type of curly hair, okay? The oil is not going to reach the bottom of my hair because my hair is just too tightly coiled, right? But even if it did, it would take like probably 10 days to reach, whereas for her, it would take 2 days. So even with the bleach, she's able to keep higher levels of hydration in her hair. Now, speaking of hydration, she drinks between 2 and 4 liters of water every single day. So on average, it's more like 3 liters, which means her hair is hydrated from the inside out as well. She does scalp massages multiple times a week. And when she does those scalp massages, she uses one of my favorite oils, which of course I taught her how to make. It is the rosemary oil, or sometimes she'll just make another oil mix, which is basically our favorite essential oils mixed with whatever carrier oil she has on hand. So it could be olive oil, it could be olive oil and castor oil. And then the essential oils are either peppermint, tea tree, rosemary, or some kind of variation of those, and some moringa sometimes as well. So you might be thinking, I take really good care of my hair. I think I trim my hair more often. I don't use bleach. I don't use relaxers. I don't cut my hair when it's not necessary. Well, in theory, my hair should be growing way faster than yours, but you don't live with that person, okay? So you don't know what they do often. She may wash her hair more often than you. She may have naturally oilier hair than you. Her genetics might permit her hair to grow a little bit faster than yours. She may eat more nutritious food than you, and she may drink more water than you. So that's why you don't look at other people's hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that? Or how can I make my hair look like that? Because there's so many factors that go into it. The best thing that you can do is to focus on what you can do to make the best out of your own hair. Now, if you want to try that hair oil I was just talking about earlier on, if you want to figure out how to make one or something similar, watch this video right here and you can check out how to make one of my favorite oils of all time for hair growth. Also, hit the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram if you'd like to know my makeup look. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!